Hello, welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Alexis. I am a disabled powerlifter from Pennsylvania and an exclusive Buff Bunny collection athlete. Today I will be reviewing the new Unbreakable collection, which will be launching on March 29th at 1 p.m. CST, and this is a really cute brights kind of collection with the return of some fan favorites, and I'm really excited for the new tops that are offered. As always, my measurements are listed below for reference, and you can find my link and all sorts of information in the description box. There are also timestamps, so that way y'all can skip around to your favorite items or the most important parts that speak to you. I'm going to go over a quick bent over test for y'all just so we can get into the nitty gritty and what bottoms are see-through and which aren't. As always, y'all know me, I will always try to be transparent and give you a squat or bent over test wearing bikini style printed or dark underwear, because if it's the same color as my skin tone, you're not going to see really how opaque the fabric is. So here it is. Also, right off the bat, I'm just going to give y'all the updates to any of the items and their fit. So I think this is really important to hit home because I personally was not happy with the changes to the NUBRE fabric last year, and I just wish that, you know, if items were restocking from the past that were NUBRE fabric, but they were like the newer, stretchier, thinner fabric, I wish they would have been labeled V2, you know, or 2.0, because I just want to know what I'm buying, right? Scoop Seamless Sports Bra, it originally launched in Genesis. The straps were kind of falling down on people, so the design team did make an adjustment to the straps, to the width of the neckline opening, and to the bodice in general. So basically it just has an overall better fit to it. The aggressive scrunch leggings, there is, according to the design team, no fit updates to it. However, I do have a size medium from the Juicy collection and a size large now in this collection, and they have the exact same measurement for the rise height. So I think the rise height for the aggressive scrunch, in my opinion, is slightly shorter, maybe by half an inch, because what Buff Bunny collection does, which is amazing, they increase the rise of a legging as you increase in the size that you get, and that's so that it fits every body the same. So if you have larger hips and a juicier booty, you go up a size, you're going to be able to have that rise height accommodate and be relative to your size. So I think the aggressive scrunch do have a little bit of a rise height difference. Reversible girlfriend sports bra we last saw in the snack collection, taken in so it's not as wide, and it also has a curved edge armhole reduction to prevent folds. For the Rosa sports bra, in its fit history, the sides were increased half an inch to not have any side boob spillage, and the neckline was dropped a little bit in 2022. I think it does give a good little amount of cleavage, even though it's like a round neck kind of sports bra. Rainforest crop top, little depth increase by about 1 inch, and it is updated to be more of a straight armhole shape. It is now in the halo fabric. Kind of the AURORA tank top length was increased by 2 inches, and then the waist width was decreased by 1 inch. Just overall, it has a little bit of a more form fit to it. Scrunchies now have a logo on them.
Sorry I'm adding this late like this, but the design team gave some last minute updates and communication on the Miracle Seamless leggings and any updates here.
Before we get into it, again, you can skip around. I have a little story time, and it really just goes around being thankful. So any kind of support that you have shown, I really appreciate it, because it has allowed me to grow my platform with Buff Bunny collection. And, you know, growing my platform is not like, okay, I have this many followers, cool. For me, it's, if I grow my platform, I will have a larger voice, and I'm able to spread disabled sports awareness and different adaptive types of movement. And I've been able to really help young kids get into sports and just feel more confident in who they are and push past their limitations. So that's powerful. But number two, quite honestly, this is like kind of a controversial thing to talk about, but y'all have helped me pay my medical bills. So I think I'm telling you this because so contracts are up at the end of this month, and I don't know if Buff Bunny collection is going to renew my contract. Having y'all support, it has helped me pay my medical bills, because the injury was obviously not planned, and it began in October. Smashed my hand at the gym. I was casted, and my hand specialist is a specialist, so you know, the copays for that kind of sucked. I'm having a corrective surgery because the bones didn't set right. There was not only a copay for the surgery center, but there was copay for my hand specialist and a copay for the anesthesiology. Yeah, the medical system has its issues, and initially I got a letter stating that all of my physical therapy sessions would be covered. So no one really tells you that when you're in a cast, afterwards your muscles are so tight, you lose flexibility and mobility. I couldn't even make a fist on this hand. I couldn't like really grab anything. I had no grip strength. And initially the insurance company said that they were going to cover everything because it fell under general PT maintenance, whatever that the insurance approved. However, the physical therapist did put a note in that I have a hand deformity and whatnot. The insurance company flagged it and said, well, hand deformity, this is now specialized physical therapy, even though it was the same thing that they were offering. So I ended up having to start doing co-pays for that. I re-injured my hand, and the co-pays for that and more PT going forward. Basically, all of the money that I have accrued from Buff Bunny Collection, being an affiliate with all of y'all's support, was supposed to go towards my honeymoon. I'm getting married in May, so hopefully this will be good by then. But all of it went towards my medical bills. And y'all gave me that peace of mind not worrying about money so much, because I'm pretty frugal actually. I live below my means with my fiance and we live in a small apartment. I didn't want to overinvest in this content creating because I wasn't sure, you know, if I was going to be continued in my contract, how long it was going to be, whatnot. I stuck with these cheap little lights that overheat after like an hour and they die, and I have to constantly take breaks between filming and all that. And in the front porch of my apartment, it is not insulated, it's surrounded by windows. This is a foam board, cardboard, hot glue gun, and construction paper background because I live in an apartment, so I'm not allowed to puncture the walls or anything like that. So I had to makeshift this. But anyway, just to show y'all the effort that I make. So fake plants are so expensive. It is storage for a bunch of crap. We have like lawn chairs and like lamps and furniture we don't use. There's more storage, old photos and pictures and whatnot. And then this little rack that I got on like Facebook Marketplace for like $5. It's collapsible, and this is all my Buff Bunny Collection stuff. Funny because people are like, oh, you do so well. And I'm like, I makeshift as best as I can and you know, try to roll with the punches. So throughout the video you will see that my lights go out. The money I was going to invest in new lights and money I made from Buff Bunny Collection, it has all gone back to medical bills or some improvements like get a refurbished, again, I try to be really smart with my money. I don't need brand new, the best of the best, but I did get like a refurbished iPad so I could do editing, and editing is a lot easier for me with a touchscreen because of my limitations. What's up? Get out of here! I'm filming.
You filming?
Unbreakable. Alright, thank you, bye!
Get out of here, I love you.
I think he wants to make appearances because he liked getting the feedback. He liked getting the feedback from y'all, and he liked doing a little mini review with me a while ago. So I was the 2023 Buff Bunny Collection Model Search winner, and you know, just sharing my experience, I genuinely want people to understand that you are so much more interesting than you think you are, and you are also your own worst enemy. You are the person holding yourself back. You are the person catapulting yourself into, you know, anything you want to, and you are in control. With the Buff Bunny Collection Model Search, I started off with 124 followers. My account was private. I made the video for my submission video entry because I wanted to spread more adaptive awareness and just show people like, hey, here are the trials and tribulations that I'm having getting into powerlifting competitions, and I just want y'all to know that, you know, if you want something, you can adapt, you can grind, you can advocate, and you can create the changes that you want to see. And I wanted people to understand that like now there's a federation that allows disabled athletes to compete and have a ranking and whatnot. I sat with that submission video in my drafts for over a month because I was very nervous. I didn't want people to criticize me. I didn't want to be made fun of. I know I'm not like the most lean person and, you know, body dysmorphia, blah, blah, blah. And my hands are definitely something that I have always tried to hide. A lot of times with disabled people, they don't like asking for help, at least from my experience. We don't like showing that we struggle with things. We want to be treated like everyone else. And I was bullied a lot in school for like my deformed hands, and it's just something that I'm not comfortable with, or I wasn't before. But because of the Buff Bunny Collection Model Search experience, you know, everyone has an interesting story, but until you put yourself out there, no one's gonna know it. At Alpha Land, I was extremely nervous. My imposter syndrome was through the roof, and I just kept thinking, like, I don't really deserve this. Like, I don't really belong here. I don't really deserve to be here. These people, like, I saw tons of tripods and cameras out, and I was like, I'm not, like, that cool like them. Like, I just don't have that za. Just not believing in myself. And it was incredible and overwhelming seeing what Alpha Land, Christian Guzman, what he does for his athletes, having this like luxurious, you know, lounge with a candy wall and content creating rooms and all that stuff. And I just felt like I was in way over my head. I am a laboratory technician at a university. My lab doesn't even have windows. Like, I was far removed from online. I just thought I was in way over my head and I wasn't cut out for this, right? And I kept I guess like making some small YouTube videos just explaining, hey, like, you know, here's some adaptive clothing that people may not know is a thing. And I did some reviews just to get practice because I thought like, I want to, you know, these are things I want to see. The BUFFBUNNY collection team noticed. They noticed my effort. And fun fact, winning the BUFFBUNNY collection model search experience, model search, it's more of a method to have community come together, support each other, resonate with other women, and just community, right? You do get flown out to Houston, you do get wined and dined, you do get like the photo shoot and whatnot, but it doesn't automatically give you a contract. So I worked hard for that, and you know, the team noticed. And in this last year, I'm coming up on 1 year actually, in April. Yeah, Limb Difference Awareness Month is when they asked me to come on as an athlete. So that meant a lot for me, and I just get emotional thinking about it because younger me would have been shocked to see someone like me being represented online. The representation matters, and it's because of the internet, it's because of awesome people just increasing your views, just, you know, whatever, supporting you with likes, comments, shares, that people like me can see someone and feel represented, and it's very special. If y'all follow me on Instagram, you know that I was down in Houston, not for BUFFBUNNY stuff. I thought they don't want me in a shoot with this thing, but I like hit myself in the head because I'm like, girl, Unbreakable. This could have been a good play on it. No, I was visiting one of my best friends. She is getting married, and we went wedding dress shopping together, and she said yes to a dress, which was awesome. We switched up plans, and she was like, I want you to go to Alpha Land because I don't quite understand the realm of your side job and the community that you keep talking about, but I want you to enjoy that. I want you to do that. So going back to Alpha Land was just, I noticed and I felt in my heart like this is so different than the first time. I walked in there and I was like, I struggle with trying to like be myself online. I think when you are a woman in STEM, to be quite honest, there is a lot of downplaying you and just being overly professional and serious so that your older male counterparts take you seriously. So I think a lot of times in my videos I try to do that also because I'm just very type A personality, but Alex Allen is just always herself, and she's goofy, she's like down to earth, she's very real, she will call you out. Like, I just love that. I absolutely fangirled her so bad. I was like, why did I just do that? She and her friend Brina took the time to follow along with me in an adaptive workout. And my girlfriend was like, you're a content creator. And I was like, oh yeah, my bad. I'm very bad at this. And I forgot to take pictures with everybody who came out to see me. And I am so sorry, Jay. You know who you are if you're watching this. I missed meeting you. I absolutely owe you a lunch date when I'm back in Houston. I'm probably back in September. Anyway, I was leaving Alpha Land just feeling like I'm a completely different person than I was 2 years ago. I walked in here and I was like, where are my people at? Where's my community? I was filming, I was working out, I was never nervous, and there goes my cheap ass light. And I just felt like very thankful that y'all, the BUFFBUNNY collection community, and just everyone who's been so supportive, have really helped me in many ways, not just with my confidence, but with my medical bills, you know, and with everything else. So I just sincerely want to say thank y'all. And I don't know what's going to happen with my contract. If this is my last collection with BUFFBUNNY collection, I'm really happy that the Unbreakable collection is the last one. Fun fact, I was not confident when I first started my fitness journey. I would wear my, and y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, the cheap college t-shirts that are cotton, and I would wear them oversized. I would wear my Old Navy capris to the gym and just be like covered, and I just felt like I didn't really deserve to look a certain way and to wear certain clothes because I didn't have the ideal bodybuilder body type. And I was very shy, I never showed my hands, I always stuck with cardio. And then getting into running a half marathon, achieving that goal made me realize like, hey, you can do anything you set your mind to, so let's get into strength training. And getting into strength training, one of my best friends introduced me to BUFFBUNNY collection, and she was like, they're really size inclusive, they're really inclusive with their models' ethnicities, and you know, you can find a model that you relate to and your body type. And she got me onto the brand, and to be at Alpha Land, to work out, film content, wearing some fine ass fits from BUFFBUNNY collection, and just thinking about the girl I used to be, completely different people. And I just I want to thank y'all for everything. So all right, now getting into it, before I get crazy emotional. I'm also on my period, so I'm kind of like crazy right now. Sincerely thank all of you for all of your support. No matter what happens, I'm glad we made the connections we have. We will continue to, you know, be a girls community, and you know, just thank you for all of your support no matter what. All right, so getting into the nitty gritty of this actual video, not just me like being emotional. So a description about the Unbreakable collection is that the Unbreakable is a campaign that celebrates the mindset of a strong woman who sweats, runs, trains, and embraces all aspects of movement. From high intensity training to mindful mobility, it introduces seamless activewear as the ultimate hybrid for her lifestyle, strong, flexible, and adaptable. Love that. And with this new collection, I am so happy. We have some bright colors. So here is the colorway. We have some very fun bright colors, some color combos, which I'm happy for, and the return of fashion print, but instead of just being pink fashion print, it is pop rocks fashion print, and that color sold out fast. So we do have a mix of really good fabrics for this collection. NUBRE fabric, I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, the fashion print legacy shorts are not the OG NUBRE fabric. They are exactly like the NUBRE fabric that we saw last year. We also have, my other light went out. We also have butter fabric, and to me it feels just slightly different than what it did back in the Juicy collection, but we'll see. We have a fun play on it with some highlight coloring. We also have the halo fabric, which is very lightweight, thinner, stretchier, and we have seen that with the baby tees. If y'all know me, I'm not the biggest fan of seamless from Buff Bunny collection, but there is a piece in this collection where I was just like, it's good. Perform fabric coming back in a variety of different pieces, and we have a good amount of accessories, which is always fun, and I really appreciate y'all for being here. So let's get into it. First up, we have the reversible racerback sports bra, and this is coming in 4 different color combos. This is the margarita and Atari color. This is made of NUBRE fabric, so it is going to be stretchy in all directions, about medium compression and support. This cute crossover bust design on this Atari darker color side. The liner all around is just a little pop of color from the margarita. A mid-line sports bra, a thinner racerback design with a keyhole opening. The details and embroidered Buff Bunny collection emblem is also on the other side. Both sides of the bra have a stitch seam that runs up, not really like nipple height, a little bit below that. On the bottom, there is an elastic band that allows this to have a little bit more structure for the whole bottom. It is stretchy and it moves well with the item itself. The stitch quality detail, it is that fabric folded over on the edges, and it stretches with the entire bra. Because this is reversible, this does not come with any slits in the bra where you could add your bra pads. This is a medium in the Revolution sports bra. If I line up the very bottom of the bra shell for both of these, you can see that this is a true midline sports bra. Side coverage, it's looking about the same. Going across, this is coming in at about 14 inches. It's about 5.5 inches. A little over 5 inches in the width of the opening. Middle of the racer back is about 2.5 inches wide. First impression, this looks really nice. I'm glad it has so much coverage for the bust area, but right off the bat, I'm not a huge fan of the stitching detailing. I think on the lighter color, it just gives nipple, you know, and I don't want that illusion. So we're gonna see how it looks on the other side. So on the other side, it's not as apparent where those like stitch seams hit. So right off the bat, I think it does look pretty like flattering on my body type. I have a wide upper body frame and a flatter chest profile, and I think just from the front, having a deep V gives me the illusion of having a little bit more, and then having a nice amount of coverage and how it tapers off like a teardrop kind of shape. It just makes me look pretty flattering, and it has a great amount of lat and side coverage. I don't think it's like digging in. It's pretty comfortable. I like that the elastic band in the bottom of the bust just adds a little bit of za to it, especially with that peekaboo color of the margarita just popping through on the edges. Love it. So it's very comfortable on like my neck, and here it is from the other side, relaxed. You're not gonna have any side boob spillage, I think. Everything just fits and feels pretty well. And for the jump test, this is definitely a medium support sports bra. I would say for me it is a little bit more lighter support just because I don't have a whole lot of boobage. Fair in the jumps test, I wouldn't wear this really running just because you have so much cleavage exposure. For bras, I haven't really had any issues with pilling, so I would say it's very good on the durability scale. NUBRE fabric, because it's a little bit dense, it's going to hold in sweat and it won't dry it as readily as some other fabrics, but I think whenever you stick to dark colors or prints, you're definitely going to be okay not showing sweat. I definitely think this is true to size. I think it's not too big. I don't feel like there's like any extra gaping in the bust area. Again, I have a wide upper body frame and a flatter chest profile, but I still think it fits around my bust pretty well. Again, no like major gaping or anything. So definitely stay true to size. This is definitely large bust friendly because of how large and how much coverage there is for the bust, and because it is deep V, you know, that depends on you and your preference how much you want to show. But as someone who has a smaller bust, I definitely think it's also small bust friendly. My overall score for this is going to be a 9 out of 10, and the only two things that I'm not really in preference for is that I wish I could add bust pads, and then on the other side, I'm not crazy about how pronounced the stitching looked, but other than that, like, I'm very happy with this sports bra. And I think, you know, that little stitching with the lighter side, you can see it a little bit more pronounced, but it's nothing where I'm like embarrassed to wear the lighter side, you know what I mean? So overall, it's just really, really comfortable. I'm moving in it and I'm feeling really good. I just feel like this is going to be my new go-to kind of sassy bra for the gym, and I definitely want to get this in more colors. So I highly, highly recommend this. Next up, we have the Scoop Seamless Sports Bra. This is coming in 4 different colors. This is the beautiful grape juice color. It is made out of Shape Seamless fabric, and the Shape Seamless is woven in different ways. This one has a nice ribbed texture to it. Seamless fabric is pretty stretchy in all directions. A light support sports bra. This is considered a mid-line. It does come with removable bust pads, and in the back it is just a nice simple scoop. Now, originally launched in Genesis, the original feedback for this is that the straps kept coming off. The front neck drop increased by 1/2 inch, and the width increase is about 1 inch. It vents only at the bodice, and it has a mesh lining added to prevent kind of like a uni boob. Going into the details, this has a dyed Buff Bunny emblem all around the edges, like the neckline and on the sides. This fabric is the same, and it's sewn onto the edges. It has like nice soft stitching. It's not going to dig into you. The straps where it is connected, that feels really nicely sewn in. It does hold up pretty well and stretch pretty well with the fabric. The back end, it is pretty nice and simple. The way that the ribbed fabric looks on the top, it's a little bit spaced out every several I guess rows, and on the bottom it is not. It's just ribbed all the way across. On the inside of the sports bra, we do have a very subtle stitch seam that helps separate the bust pads so they don't move around too much, and there is a slit on the side. This does come with bust pads that are removable. Throughout the entire bra, it is doubly lined. That allows you to have that bra shelf being double lined. Even in the back, is that it's going to add a little bit more compression for your lats and for your back. I think it's interesting that Shape Seamless is the type of fabric that is used in all 3 of these different seamless sports bras. However, it can be woven differently. The seamless tank top that launched, I want to say, in one of the capsule or fall collections, but you can see how different the pattern for the woven ribbed material is for the Shape Seamless reversible sports bra that we saw during the summer capsule, I believe. And this is more of a flat, smooth style, and then, you know, obviously it's very different from this ribbed one. This long line is the same length as a Revolution sports bra long line. Actually, this bra is more of a mid line. They have pretty much the same rise height measurements. This is 12 inches across, a little bit over 7 inches, about 5.5 inches, about 3 inches, 1.5 inches. It's flattering, but it's not as flattering as I was hoping. I did not get to try on the original from the Genesis collection, but I will say, like, moving around my apartment, and I actually worked out in this when I was down in Houston, I never noticed, like, the straps never moved out of place. I never had to adjust them. So I do think that the fit updates are very good. A lot of good side bust coverage. And here it is, whoops, sorry. And then here it is from the side. You have good lat coverage that swoops into the straps in the back, the open back design, the bottom band in the back. I don't think it really like digs in. It's pretty comfortable. So here I am relaxed. Here it is from the other side, and it just, again, just fits really well. It is a wide frame friendly sports bra. For a little jump test, I would definitely say that this is more of a light to medium support sports bra. Just keep in mind, if you do have a larger bust, this won't look as midline. It might get under your bust. In terms of fabric durability, I think this is good because it's that ribbed material. I don't think it's going to like snag and pill. It feels more dense and compressive and kind of like more durable compared to the flat Shape Seamless fabric. Because this is doubly lined all throughout, so I do think that this kind of keeps in a little bit of heat, and it will not like wick away sweat as readily as like Perform NUBRE fabric. This is large and small bust friendly. I would say stay true to size. Overall, I'm going to rank this a 9.5 out of 10, and the only reason why it's losing 1/2 point for me and my personal preferences is because I just wish that it had a little bit more oomph to the design in the front. I think face value from afar, I just look really flat. So I either wish it had like a V neckline or maybe a little underbust stitch seam contouring. Like overall, it's a pretty solid bra, and I would not mind getting another one in another color. So I would highly recommend. Next up, we have the Rosa Sports Bra, beautiful Pop Rocks color. This is coming back in 5 different colors. This is made of NUBRE fabric, and I want to say that the NUBRE fabric has been pretty much restored to its original form. It is going to be a medium compression and support sports bra, so it has a little bit more stretch to it and softness compared to the original NUBRE fabric. The fit update, they did a drop neck increase by about 1 inch, and they added the intertwined straps to the bodice length. 2024, the side was increased by ½ an inch to kind of like resolve any side boob like spillage. It has a rounded neckline, lots of good coverage on the front. It has princess contour lines on the side. It is longer lined. No elastic band at the very bottom of that long line. It is simply the fabric folded onto itself. Double band crossover design in the back, and little straight open back design, 2 pieces of lawn line fabric, and a silicone Buff Bunny emblem that is dyed to match. With bust pads that are removable from the inside, here is an elastic band on the bottom of the bust that just gives you a little bit more support. It is a little dense, but it's brushed really nicely, so it's not going to dig in and be uncomfortable or itchy on your skin. There is a bra like stitch separator. These straps are elastic that is encased in the fabric, so it stretches with the elastic, and these do lay nice and flat. They won't like roll and bunch up on you. The way that they're sewn is always really nice with that stitch quality, just like sewn inwards. The elastic straps are sewn into the frame of the sports bra. It's the Revolution sports bra in a size medium. You can see that the Rosa sports bra has the same long line length, the side rise height, so that way we can avoid any side boob spillage. The bottom is measuring in at about 14 inches, about 7.5 inches. Front rise height is about 5 inches, and then back rise is about 4 inches. Very comfortable. I wear my Rosa sports bra to the gym all the time. It is long line. If you are a curvier girl with like a looser belly, not as lean, when you do bend over, you are going to have some rolling up, and that's just kind of inevitable with longer line sports bras, so it's just kind of something to keep in mind. Front facing, it's very flattering because it does have a little bit of that side contour, and I think it just fits around the bust pretty well. It has a great amount of high side boob coverage, and it goes into the lats pretty nicely, like it doesn't dig in. I think where the straps start to begin and they cross over really beautifully in the back, it's comfortable. Here is me relaxed. I like that this back has like 2 pieces of fabric almost to give an extra long appearance. Wide and small frame friendly with the jump test. This is definitely a medium support and compression sports bra. In terms of fabric durability, NUBRE fabric is pretty good. It's not going to pill for tops as much as I've seen like on the inner thighs of my bottoms. So definitely pretty durable. I would say it's good in sweat wicking ability, but it's not going to dry sweat as quickly as like Elysium or Perform fabric. It's definitely going to show sweat, especially in the lighter colors, but in terms of the fashion print, you're not going to see any sweat with that. Small and large bust friendly, and definitely true to size. Again, this is the NUBRE fabric that is kind of restored back to its original form, just a little bit softer and stretchier. I'm going to have to rate the bra like a 9.5 out of 10. I think I've rated it 10 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 in the past, depending on the different colors that I've received. It's just a tried and true, very like go-to kind of bra that I know, love, and trust. I think the only thing that I would change about it, I just kind of wish it had a little bit more coverage there, but overall it's a very solid bra. I think if you're a first-time Buff Bunny collection bra purchaser, you should definitely get Revolution sports bra or the Rosa. Next up, we have the Highlight NUBRE fabric crop top, and this is coming in 4 different color combos, and I have the Warhead and Cotton Candy color. This is made of NUBRE fabric, so it's going to be very stretchy in all directions. It is a little bit more of a square neckline. Inner strap is a halter, and then the outer straps are the liner of the lighter color. There is a built-in bra shelf liner, and it does come with bust pads that are removable. Princess contouring, so it's a little bit longer than a meet and greet length. It does have a rounded bottom hemline, and from the back side you can see that princess contouring. Silicone Buff Bunny emblem. Going into the details of this, the bra shelf is separate, so it's not sewn into the front. Wide elastic band. It's soft and brushed and comfortable. The removable bust pads have a slit from the side, and that lining is an elastic band that goes all the way around and goes into a crossover back design. For those straps on the inside, I am a little surprised at how they're just simply raw cut and then stitched on to the tank top. I'm a little surprised the Buff Bunny collection didn't bring the stitching all the way down here, but maybe that would have dug in a little bit. So that's actually not the best stitch quality that I've seen from them, but it does seem very durable and double stitched in there. So I know that these will be durable. I'm just surprised that they're a raw cut and not really like more polished in the way that they were finished in there. But on the bottom, it's a simple double stitch detail that of course is really well done, soft, and it stretches with the fabric side. You can kind of see how the princess contour lines almost make it look like a panel. This is the Crystal V2 crop top. That the meet and greet length is different from this highlight sports bra. This crop top is more fitted and kind of straight, whereas this one flares out. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to fit on the lower half of me with my body type. These are both a size large. Generally, they are the same. 18 inches at about 11 inches, to 8.5 inches, about 14 inches. We are coming in at about 9 inches. And the width at the top is coming in at about 17 inches. I have a longer torso coming in at like 19.5 inches. So I think if you're a shorter girly, this could look a lot longer on you. So I think these were intended to match with the flow shorts. Here's the Flirty Flow Short. Here's the top of my hips. And then the crop top meets that length. So the crop top is definitely longer than a meet and greet midline length top. And I think when you have this kind of coverage, it almost elongates your torso. Right off the bat, I will say it does feel pretty loose in the chest, and you can kind of see the gaping there. So that could just be because I have a wider upper body frame and a flatter, you know, chest profile. Because it's more of a fit and flare style, like towards the bottom, I'm not really liking that extra bit in the bottom, like looseness. I wish it was more form-fitting. Cross back design, and it's wide frame friendly. I don't feel it at all. For a jump test, for me, because I have a wide frame and a really flat chest, and you can just see all the gaping, this is more of a light support. It has an excellent amount of side and lat coverage. NUBRE fabric is great in fabric durability. It doesn't really pill. In the leggings, it does a little bit on the inner thighs, but that's leggings. For the tops, I've never really had any issues. It is going to be good on the sweat wicking scale. I think it's going to dry sweat pretty good and fairly fast. It is going to show sweat in the lighter colors. This is large bust friendly. You can work with it if you have a smaller bust, but just keep in mind it's going to be a little bit more light support. That this runs big, not only because it's a like fit and flare like towards the bottom, but just because for me, like in the chest, I just have so much extra fabric. And then, you know, it's actually pretty roomy on the sides, so I really do think that I could size down. If y'all follow me on Instagram, I will do size review updates on there whenever I do get like new sizes. So overall, I'm actually going to have to give this an 8.5 out of 10. Although I love the look and the idea of it, for me and my personal preferences, I just feel like it's not true to size. I think it just runs a little bit big. It's very roomy on the sides, and it's super roomy in the bust area because of my flatter chest. Number two, I wish that the like bust area just fit a little bit better. I think it kind of pulls like this and shows off the gaping even more because of that halter strap. So I wish that the straps, they were both crossover, and then the length. And I really love this top. I love that we have built-in bra shelf, you know, liner crop tops. Next up, we have the new Halo Halter tank top, and this is coming in 3 different colors. This is the Atari color. It is made of Halo fabric, and we have seen that with the Halo Baby Tee. So it is a very lightweight, kind of slinky, super stretchy in all directions fabric. A hip length tank top, a body conscious fit, princess contour lines, a built-in bra shelf liner that comes with removable bust pads, a very lightweight, light support tank top. And in the back, we do have the contour lines as well, and then the bottom does have like a rounded shape to it. Buff Bunny collection emblem that is stitched. Going into the details is a rounded neckline with a nice halter. I think because this fabric is so stretchy and just lightweight and nice, that halter really won't like dig in. The stitch quality is that very fine, light stitching details also in the neckline and then in the contouring lines as well. I think throughout the top of the tank top there is a very like small thin elastic band that is going to help keep this in place, especially with it being an open back halter. From the inside, that built-in sports bra doesn't go all the way through, and the bra shelf liner is separate. The bra shelf has a wide elastic band at the bottom that is brushed really nicely, so it's nice and soft. It is very stretchy. A bra shelf cup separator, and the bust pads are removable from the top. Just want to show you when it's stretched out, just kind of how opaque that fabric is. 17 inches across the bottom is about 13 inches, about 11.5 inches. Okay, I chose this top for y'all. I already knew based off of the baby tee that I was not really going to be a fan of the halo fabric, and especially in a built-in bra shelf kind of top. I knew with it being a new item, you would, you know, want to see it. But yeah, I'm not really liking it. I'll just tell you right off the bat, it's not really like my preference. Okay, so first off, it is a little bit longer. I either want you to be cropped or I want you to be like longer than hip length. I don't like the in-between, because when you're a curvier girl like me, if I'm moving around, it's just going to keep bunching up and coming up to my mid-waist anyway. And it's probably intended to be with those mid-waist height, like flow, flirty shorts, like almost no support. And I'm glad it has built-in bust pads, but overall, like it's thin. I just feel like I'm wearing something that is just intended for in the house. Like I can't actually see myself working out in this. If you're jumping around, like it's definitely the most minimal support and compression. The neck does feel comfortable because the halo fabric is pretty stretchy, and it does have really good side boob and lat coverage. That big open back design is nice. Here is me nice and relaxed. I do notice that elastic band that runs along the top, that this fabric is not durable. The halo baby tees that I have pilled, not only because my cast like rubs up against them, but also because the knurling or like grip that is on a barbell for my back has like pilled the halo baby tee fabric. I would say it's excellent at sweat wicking. I would say it's not good for concealing sweat. Like when I stretch this out, you can just see how thin it is. Large and small bust friendly, because the bra shelf height is so high. Support, it's very, very minimal. So if you are a larger busted girl, I mean, if you need some support, this may not be the top for you. So it's size inclusive, it's just not support inclusive. True to size, potentially size down, but the sizing is hard to gauge when the fabric is so slinky and not supportive, but then the like elastic band in the built-in bra shelf is. So it's just a little tough to gauge that. So overall, I would have to give this like maybe an 8 out of 10. My light went out again. Because number one, I just think the fabric for this type of structure to the top is not it. Number two, the sizing is hard to gauge. The third point is that I like the length. Again, when you're a curvier girl like me and you don't have like a lean belly, you know, you're soft, when you're moving and grooving, this is gonna come up on me a lot. And it did happen when I was like moving around the apartment. So, you know, I don't want it to look bunched up, and you know what I mean? I want it to look like what it looks like. And then the fourth thing that I'm not in preference for is that elastic band that goes along the whole top of this. I notice it. It's not my preference, but I wanted to show y'all and give y'all my opinion of it. But you have to remember, my opinion is my opinion. Y'all may have other opinions and preferences, and you may be looking for a tank top exactly like this. Very light support, just easy to throw on and use for very light activities. I would say definitely more of a hot girl walk kind of tank top, not so much a workout tank top. I personally would not recommend it to people for the price either. So that's me being completely transparent and honest. Next up, we have the Aurora tank top. This is coming in 4 different colors. This is the beautiful vibrant cotton candy, and this is made of Perform fabric. So it is like slinky, a little dense, but it is also a 4-way stretch fabric. High kind of scoop neckline, a wide eraser back design, a body sculpting fit. It snatches in and tapers out on the sides. Very large Buff Bunny collection silicone emblem. I never had the original one, so I'm assuming this is kind of like similar to that one. There was 2 inches added to the total length for this. The bottom opening is less flared this time. Design team took away about 1 inch, and the side stitch seams were pushed back a little bit from the front, just so it wouldn't hit in the front. It would look like directly on the sides. Kind of resembling the Rosa stitch quality, where it's very delicate and fine, but very soft, and it stretches with the fabric. And then all throughout the neckline and the sides, it is that fabric folded onto itself and sewn, and the way that it's stitched, it stretches with the neckline, so I don't think you'll have any trouble like scuffing up your makeup getting this on. And then on the bottom, that stitch quality detail again just stretches so well with the fabric. It is simply a tank top, no built-in bra shelf or bra shelf liner. On the inside, there's really nothing to report. It is the same exact thing. Quick comparison, this is going to be longer than a meet and greet length tank top, so 18 inches wide. The mid comes in at about 16 inches, about 10.5 inches. The racer back is about 7.5 inches, 18.5 inches. From the front side, 16.5 inches. Front middle part of the chest is going to be about 11 inches. Almost hip length, and for me that's kind of long because I do have a longer torso. I think it's really comfortable. It's a lot stretchier than I thought it was going to be. I had no problem getting it on over my head. It comes up high on the armpit area, so great amount of like coverage. And then in the back, I like the wider wrister back design. It's just kind of more of a classic gym fit look. This is like kind of slinky, nice and soft and slick. I don't think it is going to pill, but I would just be a little careful if you're going to wear this or you're doing like a HIIT class where you have to lay on the concrete or something. So just be a little mindful of that. I'm going to wick away sweat very easily because the fabric is just like almost cool to the touch. It's very slick, it's slinky, and I think it's not going to show sweat in the darker colors, but in this lighter color, I think it's definitely going to show some sweat. I say that this is true to size, of course, because it doesn't have a built-in bra shelf. It is going to be, you know, large and small bust friendly. Overall, I'm going to have to give this a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing I'm not in preference for is that I think in the neck, it's a little annoying. The fabric is literally just cut off. It's not like stitched over, and I don't know, I notice it. And then it's the same, but in the armpit area, the fabric was just like cut off. I wish it was sewn over with like the nice soft stitching. That way I don't really notice it. But other than that, it's a very solid, like, basic tank top. Love the color. Highly, highly, highly recommend y'all get it. Next up, we have the beautiful pump cover, which is the Rainforest Crop V2. And this is the back end. I just want to show y'all this beautiful keyhole opening with a little twist bottom design. There was about an inch added to the armpit like opening, and now of course it is in the halo fabric. Very thin, super stretchy, slinky fabric. This is a waist length top, high kind of scoop neckline, super relaxed kind of baggy fit, and how large the sleeves are, and that detail of the keyhole opening in the back with that little twist bottom detail is just super cute. And silicone Buff Bunny emblem. Going into the details, in the back there is an additional piece of fabric, so it's like a long line fabric, and that helps us with the twist design. One piece of fabric has a loop, and then they looped the other piece of fabric into it. So it gives a little bit of dimension. Keyhole opening has a little crossover of the back panels added to the top neckline stitching. The neckline stitching is the same fabric as halo fabric, folded in half and onto the fabric. Wide opening for the neck. With that stretch, you'll never scuff up your makeup while putting this on. I like the tapered, large here, kind of tapered down. I kind of just wanted to see how it would look like this. It's not, you know, bad or anything. I think you can tell it's the back of her shirt. So, I think it feels, my light just went out. I really be trying my best, y'all. Side note, I was saving to get lights, and one medical bill turned into another. So with my reoccurring injury, surgery, co-pays for the surgery, co-pays for the anesthesiology, which I don't know why it's separate, co-pay for the hand specialist who had to perform the surgery, and the surgery center, all of my PT co-pays, every doctor visit, yada, yada, yada. All of the money that I have made from Buff Bunny collection in the last year has gone to medical bills, which sucks. What do you want? No, get out of here. Stop trying to feed me pizza. Fine. Good, that's bussin'. What is that?
Little Caesars.
Really? A cheesy bread? Alright, I'm wearing white. Get out of here. Stop.
Did you save it?
Yep. See what I have to put up with? What is his name? Okay, so right off the bat, it's super well fitting. It just kind of drapes off of the shoulders and looks very flattering. And I like the overall fit of it. It's loose. It's just, you know, nice and simple. The back, I love that keyhole opening, and then the twist bottom design shows off a little bit of your sports bra. I definitely do not think this is a durable fabric. It's thin, it's slinky, it's great at being sweat wicking because it's such a light, thin fabric, but it does have more of a cottony base to it, so you are going to see sweat. True to size, and of course, because it's just a t-shirt, no built-in bra, it is going to be large and small bust friendly, and really all size inclusives. Overall, I would give this a 10 out of 10. I think it's exactly as described, and the design is cute, nice and simple, a great little pump cover. Highly, highly recommend as a good, cute pump cover. Next up, we have the beautiful Miracle Seamless Leggings, and last launched in the Juicy collection. That was Bailey Stewart's collab, and these are made of shape seamless fabrics to be more of a light compression and support fabric, stretchy in all directions, and this is coming in 4 different colors. This is the beautiful grape juice color.
I apologize for adding this late, but here are the updates from the design team. I got these after I filmed this review video, so there were in fact some changes and updates to the fit of the Miracle Seamless leggings. I don't have the original to compare, so I'm sorry for adding this last minute update, but just to give y'all some specs.
It is 24-inch inseam length, but because the fabric is so stretchy, it's going to be full length and a medium compression and support high-rise legging. Because it's shape seamless and is so stretchy in all directions, you really could pull it up to be a ultra high-rise booty lifting effect to it. Above the glute deep V contour and a regular stitch seam in the glute rise. Going into the details of a rounded waistband, and up close, we seamless fabric is just kind of flat and simple in the front panel. The flat fabric is very, very stretchy, whereas the waistband is a lot more compressive because it's ribbed and because in the waistband it is doubly lined. That side contouring the rib design, but on the back side it is a little bit more pronounced. Portion that's closer to the back curves into the under glute contouring, swoops in and widens out underneath the glutes, and that's going to help kind of give your booty a little bit of a lift. A vertical rib design, it's going to stretch out nicely while still keeping structured underneath your glutes. And the shading that was a little bit less pronounced towards the front end goes into the back of the legging down to about the middle of the pant leg, help you smooth out the back of your upper thighs. From the calf area of the pant leg, it's nice and flat, and then the very bottom is ribbed and then sewn inwards and very nice and smooth. It's super stretchy. Simple stitch seam in the rise, has a deep V above the glute contour, and the dyed Buff Bunny emblem. The top of the waistband has a more subtle, wider ribbed compared to the bottom portion. From the inside, I'm going to see how the waistband is stitched there. It is a little bit thick, but I don't think it's going to be itchy or like dig into you. Glute rise is again just a simple stitch seam. Come with a diamond shaped crotch gusset, but it doesn't have a front rise. But sometimes I worry with the seamless because it's so thin, it can really situate itself in the wrong places, if you know what I mean. So for comparisons, I do have the waterfall seamless legging and the shape seamless. What's interesting is all of these are made out of shape seamless fabric. However, they are woven in different design styles. So a waterfall, it just keeps tapering down. With the original shape seamless shorts, it's more of a flat design, but the way that it was woven, or I guess like embossed, it ended up having a little bit of contouring lines in it. And I just think it's really interesting that these are all the same exact fabric, they're just woven differently. The waistband is measuring in at about 13 inches, 10 and a half inches. Rise from the top of the waistband to the bottom, about 10 inches. These are compressive in the waistband and in the back of the thigh. So I would say these are a medium compression and support level. In the under waist area, I do wish that it was just a little bit more compressive, but overall pretty comfortable. It is a full length legging for me. I also think these should just be illegal because bam, the booty is contoured and lifted. So let me show you from this side, just like holy glutes. Okay, the under glute contouring does seem to kind of like move downward, so I feel like this is long butt friendly. Neville long bottom. Anyway, but it definitely makes the glutes just look so good. And I am wearing bikini style underwear. The glute rise seam, it's just a regular stitch seam. It still hugs my butt and looks super, super good. I have thicker cellulite on this side, and I think that it's pretty cellulite friendly because of where that contouring kind of hits on there. Let's see on the other side. Yeah, I think it is pretty good. Glute area, and then the front panel is just that flat shape seamless fabric. I did have the shape seamless bodysuit from the Juicy collection, and the flat fabric part did snag on something and it ripped, and it was like right above the glutes. So I would definitely say it's fair in being durable. Seamless fabric definitely dries very fast. It's going to show sweat, but if you get that dark charcoal gray color, I think you'll be fine. I've never tried the Miracle leggings before. They originally launched in the Juicy collection. A lot of athletes are saying that some people have like weird bunching in the fabric. So that is another thing to keep in mind. I do find that the sides are rolling down on me. In terms of the squat test, I always wear printed colored, dark colored bikini style underwear. So I'm gonna give y'all the squat test for that. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of seamless bottoms from Buff Bunny collection. I just wish that they were a little bit like thicker, less opaque. I think for the look, they are really, really great. For the functionality, for a power lifter like me, these aren't exactly in my preference. But overall, I am really impressed with these. They smooth me out, they make me look pretty good, and in the back, they just give my booty a little sculpting lift and whatnot. My fiance said, whoa, he's in the other room. So I would have to give these a 9 out of 10. And the reason why these lose 2 half points for me and my personal preferences is because, number one, I wish that the shape seamless fabric, especially in the glutes, was just a little bit more dense or thicker because they're pretty see-through. Number two, so I'll move around a little bit, but I do wish that the under glute contouring just came up a little bit higher, because like here's the bottom of my butt cheek, like where it would be rounded out, and then here is where the shading goes into effect. I don't think that the Miracle like contouring is really hitting in the right spot for me. You know, something that I've noticed where I just wish it came up just a little bit higher. You can see it better on this side. So those are the two things I'm not really in preference for. If you can situate these properly and, you know, you want something that's really going to make the booty pop, I would highly, highly recommend these. I am really impressed with the way that they feel and what they do for the booty. Next up, we have the Aggressive Scrunch Highlight Legging made from Butter Fabrics, 4-way stretch fabric. This is coming in 3 different colors. This is the Atari and Margarita combo. Have a 26-inch seam length to it, so that is going to be a full-length bottom. It is a light to medium support and compression fabric. It does feel slightly more dense, though, in my opinion. High-rise legging and elastic band in the back glute rise. So, you know, right off the bat, it does look like a lot, but once you actually try it on and fill it in, it's a lot more subtle. Some highlight glute deep V contouring above the glutes and in the waistband. And the only update to the Aggressive Scrunch legging that the design team has confirmed is that it just has the added stitch seam to it. No front rise seam. A V in the front of the waistband. Going over the details, it very much resembles that of the Rosa leggings, just that kind of delicate princess, you know, like very fine, smooth, soft stitch detailing. Back, we can see that it's the double stitch silicone Buff Bunny emblem. That delicate sort of Rosa stitch detailing does run all the way down the side. So the waistband is of course doubly lined. It is that fabric simply folded onto itself. There's no top of the waistband elastic or stitch seam. Very, very stretchy. The inside, we can see that elastic band that is wide, crotch gusset kind of eye shape. The bottom stitch seam detail for the ankle opening is pretty stretchy, but it stops at a certain point. But I do think it's going to be pretty comfortable for ladies who have thicker ankles. No front rise seam. Quick for comparisons, Dream Heather leggings, that elastic band is a little bit like not as flat and less wide. The Aggressive Scrunch legging that we saw in the Juicy collection, from crotch gusset to the bottom of the like deep V waistband, they're the same size, same rise height. They are pretty much the same rise height. Okay, so these are actually a size medium. If these have the same rise height as a medium as the new large, maybe the large is a little bit smaller in the rise height now that we make those comparison, because what Buff Bunny collection does is as you increase in size, they will increase the rise height of something to accommodate like the circumference of somebody. If I match up the front, they're again the same rise height in the front. So I do think that for these Aggressive Scrunch, the rise height is just maybe like half an inch shorter than what it was before, because it did feel pretty low on my butt compared to what these used to feel like. Now, some athletes were saying in our athlete Discord that these stitch seams popped on them, so like they came unthreaded and kind of loose. The inside, you only have the lower one present in the waistband, so that's just something else to keep in mind, that that top one, a few athletes have had that stitch seam pop on them. Waistband for the size large is obviously a little bit wider than the waistband for the size medium. So that's interesting that the rise height in the front and the back was the same. The top of the waistband measurement, about 11 inches. The base of the waistband is about 12.5 inches, and is about 9 inches. We're gonna fill this in, but from the crotch gusset all the way to the top of the waistband is coming in at about 9.5 inches as well. Although butter fabric is not as compressive as NUBRE fabric, I definitely think that they can help kind of smooth things out. So they do fit pretty nicely. And in the crotch area, I think they're fairly compressive. Of course, butter fabric, so they have like a skin-like feel to them, very soft to the touch. Here it is from the back. Rise height is shorter than what it was before. Again, I'm Neville Longbottom. I have a long bottom. So these just feel like they were made for someone who has like a shorter glute rise. Full length legging on me. The cellulite coverage on these is fair to good. I have thicker cellulite on this side so you can kind of see it, and then on this side just a little bit under there as well. For the fabric durability, butter fabric bottoms pill on me, so just kind of keep that in mind. You want to wear these for light activity. You're not wearing these when you're going to sit on like a hard turf, concrete, or a turf good and being sweat wicking, and it does show sweat then for the bent over test, as always, I am wearing dark printed bikini style underwear. I do get some rolling down in the waist. These can be an ultra high rise, but then you risk kind of pulling them at the crotch area, so I would say these are more of a high rise on me, at least because I have a longer torso, so they don't hit right in the middle where I would like them to. In terms of sizing, I definitely think that these are true to size. I would not recommend sizing down in these because the way that the waistband is kind of tapered in and just how these feel. I think if they're too loose, you could risk them not being as compressive in the midriff. I would give these like a 9 out of 10. The only reason why it's losing a few half points for me and my personal preferences is because, number one, I just feel like that glute rise is shorter than what it was before. And like the top of my glutes is more here. So if I pull them up and adjust them, it would be fine. But I just feel like because of my long bottom, they don't really work. Also in the back, they come down a little bit lower just because I have larger glutes. So it takes a little bit more fabric to cover them. Second half point taken away for these is that I wish they came up just a little bit higher, but again, like I have a longer torso, so there's that. But if y'all have never tried a butter fabric legging, I would highly recommend to try these, especially make the booty look just really, really good. I do think that these are great for all women, all different types of lower body types, whether you're more lean or curvy. I think these will definitely work out really, really great. We have the tried and true OG legacy legging, and these are coming in 4 different colors and the fashion print. Warhead color. It is made of NUBRE fabric, and I do believe, in my opinion, that these are the restored kind of NUBRE fabric where they're not as dense as they were before, but they're not as stretchy as they were last year. So I would consider this a light to medium support legging. They are a fan favorite and the top selling legging from BUFFBUNNY collection. So I'll go over these really quick because I have reviewed these in other videos, but very comfortable. I can definitely tell that they are a light to medium compression and support. Leggings are a full length legging with even a little bit of extra room because of the kind of stretch that is in it now. They're fair and being cellulite friendly, but I think if you go in a darker color or the fashion print, you will be totally fine. Great ultra high rise, but on me that hits at like the smallest of my waist. A great amount of coverage in the back. It is pretty durable. It pills just a little bit on the inner thighs on a lot of the pairs that I've had for a really long time. Good in being sweat wicking, and it is fair in being sweat concealing if you have the darker colors, but with this lighter color you can definitely tell if you sweat. NUBRE fabric isn't really dog and pet fur friendly, I have learned, because I did wear a pair of leggings to someone's house and they had a pet and the dog fur just stuck to me. So just kind of keep that in mind. Definitely true to size, but because NUBRE fabric isn't as dense and compressive as it used to be, I think you can definitely size down if you want to for more compression. However, just keep in mind when you do size down that you end up risking it being a little bit more opaque or see-through because you're stretching the fabric out so much. I would give these a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason why these lose a half point for me and my personal preference is because I just don't like that the fabric. I think it should just have been the OG, you know, same one. If they change the fabric, then I think it should be called 2.0. But I still want the option of having the original NUBRE fabric. But overall, these leggings are the reason why I got into BUFFBUNNY collection and became a fan years ago. So if you are a first-time BUFFBUNNY collection shopper, definitely go with the legacy leggings because they're tried and true, and they are the #1 best-selling legging from BUFFBUNNY collection for a reason. Moving on to bottoms, next up we have the Flirty Flow Short, and this has a boy short liner. And the other version of the Flirty Flow Short is that it has a bikini style liner, but this is coming in 4 different colors. This is the beautiful Azul. This is made of flow fabric, so it's like slinky, very lightweight fabric on the shell. Sound to it when you move. A light to medium compression and support level. A high-rise short. High-rise really means from belly button height, so like it's going to be a little bit higher than hip length, but for ultra high-rise that would be at the like smallest point of your waist. So this is high-rise. Smoked waistband with an inside draw cord. Really soft and thin. It's not super thick. The boy short is a 4-inch inseam pockets on both sides. And silicone emblem. From the back side, there's really not anything to the design. But on the side, you have this like draping, folded over design for the outer shell. A little peekaboo from the short liner underneath. From the inside, it does have the side stitch seams that allow for the pockets to be built in. A double crotch gusset. From the back side, there's really nothing significant. Again, you're not going to see any of this. A little hard to compare apples to oranges, but this is the Sway Short in a size extra large, and these Flow Shorts are a size large. As some of y'all might know, if you've ever tried the Sway Shorts, the waistband, it has a wide elastic band, and that Perform fabric doesn't really stretch that much, are more like pleated in the way that they're designed around the waistband. So it's supposed to be like pleated and look like a flowy skirt. Sorry it's so wrinkled, just pulled it out of the laundry. Whereas this Flow Short is very flat. This side opening for these shorts has a lot of extra fabric to really help with that like flirty skirt design. So once you stretch this out, it's going to look a little bit more flat. This is a size large, these extra large, and you can see they are actually the same waistband width. So crotch gusset to crotch gusset, you can see that this is a more of an ultra high rise or more of just a high rise. So a little bit around the belly button area. Is measuring in at a little over 15 inches, about 12 inches, about 14 inches. These are just not it. I do not like these. I'm just going to tell y'all right off the bat. So if you're standing still, legs apart, kind of smooth out the outer shell of not bad. When you're standing normally, this ain't it, okay? And because I'm a curvier girl, where these are hitting is more like mid-waist. They're giving me a muffin top. So I matched this with the Highlight NUBRE crop top along with the Halo halter, our longer line, so that they probably can match with these. They're not even comfortable. It's kind of giving me diaper booty. Come up so low, they're like barely covering my butt. And yeah, that's not cool. I wanted to cover a little bit higher. They're just giving me like Nike Y2K. It just pulls the fabric back, and then I have like this wide opening, and it's just not very, you know, flattering for someone who's curvy, like, you know, from the side. I just wish this ain't it. Running short, only made for very lean body types. When you have hips, you got thick cakes, and you have a fupa, you know, this does not work well. It just, I'm not happy with it. Moving forward, I think the fit is not great. I do not think that these are cellulite friendly. The like inner liner, it's like doubly lined where the pocket is, but it still shows off like my cellulite in the back. I do think that the fabric is pretty durable in the way that I don't think it's gonna pill, and it's pretty durable, strong fabric, and it doesn't have any stretch to it, at least the outer shell. But the inner shell definitely has a good amount of like compression and support, and they are going to be pretty good at being sweat wicking because that fabric is pretty like slinky and just like a good performance fabric. However, with the lighter colors, I think you are going to see sweat. And then I'm going to give you all a squat test, but I don't really think it matters because this has, you know, the shorts liner. For me, I'm a size large, and where they're hitting, I couldn't adjust the waistband to be tighter. These run small. For curvy girls, I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, these are not it. These are not going to work for us. These do not look good on us. I feel like these Sway shorts are definitely going to be way more thick girl friendly. I know these are running shorts, but again, if you're a bigger girl, these just ain't going to work. So overall, not a fan. I would not recommend these for my thicker girls. I think if you have a very lean body type and, you know, very low, you know, body fat, you don't have a fupa, you don't have wide hips, you don't have, that'll pull this fabric, you don't have like a donk that'll make these look even shorter in the back, I think they could work for you. But for my thick girls, no, I don't recommend these. I'll have to give these like, I'll probably just give them a 5 out of 10. So the rise, the outer shell, overall, the fit and how it is in the crotch, the sides, how it really just pulls because that fabric doesn't, you can see that like bunching in the back here, the fabric really just isn't good for, it's supposed to lay flat. It kind of gives me diaper booty. It's just not it. So yeah, I would not recommend these, to be honest. If you're very lean and you're short, I would recommend these, but not really for me. Sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be completely honest that if I were to spend my own money on these shorts, I would be disappointed. So yeah, just looking out for y'all. Next up, we have the beautiful Sway shorts, and these are coming in 4 different colors. This is the Margarita color, nylon and spandex with an outer shell. I want to say it's more like Perform fabric. The PDF actually doesn't say explicitly, but it is a light compression and support short with this really cute flirty skirt shell and then a shorts liner. There's a 4-inch inseam length, have pockets on both sides, high rise, wide elastic waistband. I actually got my first pair of Sway shorts during the Black Friday sale in black, and I love them. I wear them way more often than I ever thought I would. So the waistband is stretchy, but it doesn't have a whole lot of give. And because that waistband is straight across, you can see, because I did wear this over the weekend, the top of the waistband does kind of roll, so that's just something to keep in mind. The way that the fabric is sewn into the waistband, ruched, that way you can drape downwards and have some depth and dimension and volume to the outer shell. The side profile is very flowy, so where this drapes over, it's going to keep looking like that as you move. That the pockets are at a slant. I have a phone charger and my phone, and you can definitely fit those in there. A Buff Bunny collection silicone emblem. The shorts liner is pretty simple. You have multiple stitch seams on the sides just to create those pockets. 4-inch inseam length. The double crotch gusset that runs all throughout. Even though it's a shorts liner, it doesn't really matter, but there is no front rise seam. You have a back rise seam. Outer shell, really kind of bikini style to it. So the inseam for this is probably 1 inch on each side. Because the fabric is so flowy, you're never going to really see this part unless you're squatting. So if I'm squatting, you'll see this kind of like go down first and then the rest of it. The stitch quality is just so nice. So the fabric was folded onto the waistband, kind of like inward, and so it just lays nice and flat and smooth, and it's so comfortable on the inside liner. Very soft, fine stitch detailing. But the Flirty Flow shorts, I just want to show y'all how kind of flat they look. So the sway shorts I get in an extra large because that waistband doesn't really have a whole lot of give. The Flirty Flow shorts are a size large, and I just want to show y'all that the waistbands are the same width, like 15.5 inches, like 17.5 inches. Just having the pockets on both sides is just so convenient. Now these sway shorts, on the other hand, are so much more size inclusive and just way more flattering on all body types. So I say that because right off the bat, it just looks like a really cute, flirty little skirt, but it does have the built-in shorts, and that draping, the way that the fabric falls is just so well done. Let's see, even with my little like fupa, you can't see it, right? And these are more of an ultra high rise. They're so flowy. This fabric really isn't like stretched out like it was in the Flirty Flow short. So that's really nice. And then in the back, it still keeps its, my other light went out, but in the back, it still keeps its really flirty, flowy skirt-like appeal, and it doesn't give like diaper booty, okay? It just flows really, really nicely. They're really comfortable. As y'all may know, for the sway shorts, a lot of people size up. I did size up to an extra large because that waistband is tight. When you are bending over and doing things, that is going to cause this waistband to ride down and roll down a little bit. So that's just something to keep in mind. I do not think that these are very cellulite friendly. I have thicker cellulite on this side, and you can see even through the pockets, because it's such a light color and the shorts liner is like thinner, you can just see all my cellulite. But with the outer shell, you can barely tell you have cellulite just because it's like a good little cover for that. I wear my black sway shorts all the time, and they have never pilled. I think this fabric can possibly catch on things, but it's not going to pill. It's very slick and lightweight and flowy and slinky. Very good at being sweat wicking because it's so lightweight. It's not going to really show your sweat because it's doubly lined, right? You have this liner and then the like shell over it. But I think if you get anything on the outside, it's going to show some sweat. Well, I guess it doesn't show sweat that badly. Bikini style underwear, and you can definitely see them through the liner, but again, you're going to have this shell over it, and I think through the shell, we're pretty good. So overall, I would rank these sway shorts a 9 out of 10, and the reason why it loses 2 half points for me and my personal preferences is because, number one, I wish that the waistband was a little bit more forgiving. As you can see, it kind of rolls down on a pudgy body type like mine. And then number two, I do wish that it was just more true to size. I size up, okay, whatever, but I just want them to advertise it as a true size large, true size extra large, and fit appropriately, you know? But overall, these are definitely like gonna be my summer favorites. I'm gonna order these in another color. Highly, highly recommend trying these out if y'all have not already. Next up, we have the Legacy 6-inch inseam length shorts, and these are coming in a variety of different colors. The Fashun print in Pop Rocks, which I'm so excited for this return. NUBRE fabric, so it is going to be pretty stretchy in all directions. Rounded waistband design, no front rise seam, an eye-shaped double crotch gusset that doesn't run all the way down. It stops about halfway. Some thicker stitch seams along, you know, the waistband and the sides. That iconic tri-arch butterfly glute contour stitch seams that runs into the waistband. A simple stitch seam in the glute rise. A silicone Buff Bunny emblem, which is kind of hidden in that print. The waistband is doubly lined. It is simply the fabric folded onto itself. No stitch seams or elastic in the top of the waistband. This does have a white base to it, so it is going to appear just like a little bit more sheer, I guess, or like the white is going to show through when you stretch these out. The stitch detailing, kind of more robust, wider, more apparent stitch seam. I don't think this is the restored NUBRE fabric, but even though this has the print and everything, it just feels very, very stretchy. This kind of grape juice purple base. Then you have, so that's 1, dark purple 2, hot pink 3, this lighter pink 4. So I think you have 4 or 5 different colors in here compared to, this is the Fashun print that we originally saw in the Dream House collection, and this has obviously more pops of blue and whatnot. This definitely feels heavier than this. The Snack collection last year in 2024. So from Dream House, this is a size medium, this is the old NUBRE fabric, and then the newer NUBRE fabric last year, if I put these together, here are these, we can see that the one from last year is stretchier to the one this year, and they are the same stretchiness. So I really do think that these are not the restored NUBRE fabric. Okay, so the Dream House collection were a size medium, and then the new Fashun print are a size large. So original NUBRE fabric in a size medium is measuring in at 105 grams, and then NUBRE fabric size large is going to be in at 108 grams. So you're telling me this is one size bigger and it's only 3 grams heavier than this size. This is definitely lighter, thinner, stretchier fabric, and I'm ready for that to be over with. I want the NUBRE fabric, all items, to be that kind of restored fabric. The Highlight NUBRE fabric crop top is very similar to the original NUBRE fabric. It is dense, but I think the team hit it home being like a little bit stretchier and softer. Measurements, the top of the waistband opening is 12.5 inches. The top is about 10 inches at about 12.5 inches. So much stretchier than the original NUBRE fabric leggings, and y'all know how I feel about that. If you followed me, if you've watched any of my other reviews, I always go on about how the fabric changed, but yeah, very soft and comfortable. I would say light compression and support. They're absolutely thick thigh friendly. I think they look pretty good on the glutes, probably because they're a little bit thinner and they can situate in the glutes pretty well. It's really comfortable from the back and relaxed. It doesn't seem like it's like digging in anywhere. Because this is a print, I think it does kind of camouflage my fupa a little bit. This side I have some thicker cellulite. Because it is a print, it really camouflages that, so I don't think it's going to show cellulite, but in the lighter colors I definitely think that it will. Because this is like a thinner, stretchier, softer NUBRE, my other ones have pilled, so just kind of keep that in mind that this is not exactly the original. It is sweat wicking and it is sweat concealing in the print, but in the lighter colors it's not going to hide sweat as easily, and I think it's going to dry pretty fast compared to like Posh Knit fabric or any other kind of warmer feeling fabrics from Buff Bunny collection. I would definitely say that these are true to size. I would not recommend sizing down in these, because when you size down, you could potentially risk these being more opaque because you're stretching out the fabric. With that white base, it's just, yeah. So definitely stay true to size. Do not size down unless you're okay with it looking more opaque with that white base. So overall, I'm going to have to give these like a 9.5 out of 10. I love legacy shorts and leggings, but again, the fabric is not what it used to be. So that is the only thing that I'm not in preference for with these. For honorable mentions, the Girlfriend Sports Bra is coming in 3 different color combos. It is made of NUBRE fabric. It is a light compression and support level sports bra. Have the Halo Baby Tee, lightweight, thin, slinky. Also have the return of the Shape Seamless bodysuit. This first launched in the Juicy collection. According to the team, there are no fit updates to it. The suit is coming in 3 different colors. It has a 24-inch inseam length, which is a full length inseam length because the fabric is so stretchy. Have removable bust pads, compression in the waist, and it does make the booty pop like really, really well. We also have the Radiant short sleeve tee. I did get to feel these when I was at Alpha Land. They were on the rack but not ready to be put out in the boutique. These t-shirts are like the softer t-shirt fabric. This is coming in 3 different colors, relaxed classic fit, 100% cotton, definitely a good investment. And we also have a lot of accessories. So we have the mini Game Changer backpack, the regular Game Changer backpack, the breakthrough belt bag, and the everyday duffel coming in beautiful colors, probably 2 or 3 colors per item. If y'all made it to the end, I want to say sincerely from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all of your support. If you did use my athlete code at any point, I really appreciate it, because I had a little story time earlier in the video, but all of the money that I have made in the last year from the Buff Bunny collection sales and my commission, I was going to put towards my honeymoon, but this happened, and yeah, it's been an ongoing issue since October, and y'all really helped me like have a little peace of mind to cover all the co-pays for this reoccurring injury. So I truly appreciate that. And then just thank y'all for being here and being awesome. Like, the community has been really, really cool. I've made a lot of really good connections with people. Just being able to relate and goof around and talk about different things. And you know, it's a girls community and girls group. So it's definitely something to be thankful for. Y'all have allowed me, you know, you may not think about it just by liking and commenting someone's stuff, but I've learned social media is like a huge social experiment. But if you like, share, comment, you know, the algorithms may bring more traction to your posts and whatnot. And I'm analyzing these things and thinking, how can I grow my platform in order to help other disabled athletes get into powerlifting or get into adaptive ice skating? And you know, I think there's so much awareness that people just don't know is out there unless you have to live in that person's shoes. So to be able to have that experience, it just means a lot. And to be able to educate a few personal trainers down at Alpha Land and have them go through, you know, a workout with me was just eye-opening. That I'm more interesting than I think I am. Little old me from Pennsylvania, who started off with like 100 followers. I just sincerely thank all of y'all for being here and all of the support that you've given me in this last year. So hopefully the next time you see me on YouTube, it will be reviewing another Buff Bunny collection launch, but if not, you know, it might be some more adaptive and assistive equipment, and maybe I'll have the time to film a little bit more vlogging for YouTube. But all that aside, if y'all thought that this review was helpful, thank you for making it to the end. Please like, comment, or share this video. Go follow me on Instagram for any size updates, reviews that I will do on my stories. Follow me on Instagram just for, you know, adaptive sports awareness if you want. Please use code Lexi, L-E-X-I, on any of your Buff Bunny collection purchases to save and support me as an athlete. And I hope you absolutely love these pieces. They make me happy. I love bright colors. So as someone who was always shy at the gym, shy to get started, who just covered themselves all the time, you know, I have my insecurities and things. To be a part of Buff Bunny collection, to be excited and share, you know, this haul with y'all, all the bright colors and just rocking them out in public, filming content, doing all that, it just is a testament that clothes don't make the person, but they can help the person feel a little bit more confident and to carry through things that they're passionate about. So thank y'all. But okay, enough. I hope y'all love these amazing pieces. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and hopefully I'll see you next time.